When will our people be emancipated?
We cannot say South Africa is xenophobic. Xenophobia, you are afraid of someone who has a culture different from yours. What we need to start talking about as Africans is Afrophobia. It is actually the hatred of our own color. And it will be very interesting also to note that when we come into the South Africa, we are viewed as foreigners, and then the white people are viewed as investors. Our passports in Africa must stop being passport. Melanin must be our passport. Melanin, Bantu, Ubuntu, living together in harmony must be the goal for every African country.
And my prayer is, may God restore the dignity of a black man. May God position a black man in the center of the political and economical of the world.
How dare you speak about my tribe in such a careless way?
People in ministry, most of them are hypocrites.
The Bible itself, are we holding the right book in our hands? If not, where is the right book?
Beautiful trees grow in the midst of very bad manure.
The big tree has fallen.
Spirituality is more important than Christianity.
I have come to set the captives free.
I really love Maponga.
Yeah.
Even though he's a mixed bag.
Apostle, bishop, I don't know whatever they call him. I feel like he's also on a gravy train of another colonial era.
From being a charismatic preacher to being a Buddhist. This is very, very interesting for me.
Vandaag ngiya e-studio ngiyobona intwana yami uBojas sekasi. Wow.
Hey, Nego.
Sengifikile. Are we ready to roll?
Yeah.
Are we ready to go?
Nandi.
Pesway project, it's been years that I've not been in the studio, not touching the mic. I'm about to kiss the mic. I am doing an EP with him. Ultimately, I'm going to do a whole album project. I promise you, you thought Jehovah Jireh was a classic song. What's about to come is gonna hit you and spin you, but you will love it.
Still working on the chord work, yabo.
Yeah.
But in terms of groove, this is what I have when I'm yabo.
When I was looking for someone who can really communicate and express what was in my heart about my project, ngivaye ngatholakele out yami yasekhaya uBojas, and I found that his work is super good. He's got the creativity juice flowing out of him, and I think together we'll produce some tight thing together.
It was a happy day, Lord. It was really a happy day, yeah.
I decided to pick up a cover version, a song that everyone knows, Happy Day. It's a song that was done by Holter Hawkins around 1971, and I'm going to give it that Tebu feel and that Tebu signature and that African signature. You will love it. After we're done with it, you'll even forget the first one.
Work in progress, we can sort the chord work out, then maybe add elements,
Stanzas, and
bridges,
and
then
breakaways,
then see arrange in terms of ukuthi okay mhlambe si build up kanjani,
Today we'll lay some track, pre-production, have a discussion on what sort of a sound we want to get out of the song, see if we can pull it with heavy voices that are gospel, and play around with it. But I think when we're there, we'll be able to kick it and get it right.
Oh, happy day, I'm in a happy day, yeah, happy day. When Jesus was.
I've never felt this way in a long time. It's a deja vu. To be in the studio and belting out songs and music going crazy behind me, it's such a beautiful feeling. I don't even have words to describe it, but all I can say is ethereal.
Yeah, today is a very sobering day. I've done many assignments, but I think I'm very humbled and honored to go and do a presentation at the passing away of a stalwart, and the big tree has fallen. What do you say to a man with such a an illustrious history with such glamour. But I need to get there and share my tributes and my condolences with the family over his passing. But indeed, I'm thinking from business, his life in the uprising of South Africa, the amount of struggle the man has gone through, and particularly also his interest in terms of developing the community. And to have been able to come out of this entire apartheid era with the glamour that he did and with the dignity that he still demands, I'm quite humbled. You must go outside sometimes and play with other children. You cannot just be sitting around, hey, holy, 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 every Sabbath and have a boring life or crying out loud, tweeting and passing gossip stories. Get a life for what it is worth. So I woke up one morning and I said, man, the wind on my face and the sun on my back. Is it not rhetoric that I'm actually riding towards sunset? And as I look at the sunset of a hero, lots of things are going through my mind. What am I going to say at his passing? It's a sober moment. Life is a ride. You want to go fast? We say in biking world, ride alone. You want to go far? Ride with other people.
I'm at a space now where I can talk to anybody because I don't have enemies, you know.
That's what you think.
Muzi used to be a charismatic pastor to being a universalist.
I'm so curious to know what really happened.
I'm here to see my friend Muzi. We're going to be catching up. I haven't seen him. How is the Millennium Prophet?
Hey, my friend.
Are you also good? Hey. After he saw the Abafundisi show and the discussion we had on religion and spirituality with Rev Maponga and Rev Piri, he really got interested. We were having a very nice discussion with my friends, Abafundisi, and we touched on spirituality, awakening, and I said, you know what? Konje Umganwami has traveled that path of enlightenment so much, and he's the only person in this world, I think, who can have a very objective discussion on that. Muzi used to be a charismatic pastor or a Pentecostal pastor, and he moved from that to being a universalist.
Well, I've been following that show and it has raised a lot of eyebrows. And I saw that Maponga was also featured there. You know, I really love Maponga. Even though he's a mixed bag.
I love the mixed bags.
Let me refresh myself. He said only Christians will buy a factory in an industrial area and convert it
to a
into a house of prayer. Where people come and pray for jobs.
Instead of creating jobs.
They don't even realize that where we are praying for jobs, there used to be a factory. Jobs.
I think it will be interesting to have Maponga and Muzi on the same table, dealing with issues of spirituality and religion. The bombs are going to go off at a tangent. I believe so. We need to talk.
Maponga Muyama is
here
with me
and tomorrow
says we need to talk about very, very hot potato issues.
Very hot. It's not easy to come.
And then I wake up in the morning and there, Abafundisi, Apostle, Bishop, I don't know whatever they call him, Muzi Cindi, comes around and says he also wants to talk to me. We had a conversation with Cindi over his new age concepts of the age of Aquarius and etc. I feel like he's also on a gravy train of another colonial era using Buddhism and a new world, new age concept, still trying to colonize Africa. My apprehension and repulsive nature tells me I've enjoyed enough of colonization from the West, from the North. Ngicela nje uCindi nje angahlafuna amaphepha angitshele ngesizulu kumbe ngesixhosa. I don't know what language is, whether it's Pedi or it's Shangana. Asho ukuba i-age of Aquarius isho ukuthini ngolimi lwasekhaya. But my intellect will not even allow me to entertain him, to tell me that I'm in the age of Aquarius when he cannot define me Aquarius in his own traditional language?
Look at this now.
Who's that?
It's Piri.
Oh, he's responding so
I
fast.
call this synchronicity.
Yeah.
Hey, Piri.
Hey, how are you, sir?
I'm okay, man.
What's going on, man?
Long time. I haven't been talking to you for some time.
It's been a while, eh? It's been a while.
Yeah, nyanbona nina lapho nabo nomyema nabo mapongo lapho. You are shuffling things, you are stirring things lapha on the media.
You know, when I got this text, it amused me because when I went to his Facebook page, I saw that he worships Buddha and it's got Buddha in a car, Buddha everywhere else, and this was so shocking for me. But I'm so curious because I've never actually met a Buddhist. I've met people that are contrast to Christian beliefs, but this is going to be a very interesting encounter, meeting a Buddhist. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm at a space now where I can talk to anybody because I don't have enemies, you know.
That's what you think.
You know, I think when Jesus says love your enemies, enemy, he actually says have no enemies.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's meet tomorrow. You can because I'm with Miyama now. He's telling me that he's bringing Maponga tomorrow to my house.
We'll be there tomorrow to see you, sir.
I can imagine Upiri Nomuzi, knowing that Upiri is a fundamentalist who embraces the ritual of Eucharist, of eating the body of Christ and drinking the blood, against Muzi, who has transcended. There's going to be fire because these two are surely too polarized and they're in different spaces spiritually. Tomorrow we will walk on that line of spiritual, religious chaos, disorder, order. And
You see, I think one of the most interesting side of the entire discourse is how Moses Tindi moved from being a charismatic preacher anointed under the power of the Holy Spirit to being a Buddhist. This is very, very interesting for me. I'm so curious to know what really happened.
after our discussions with Muzi, they both are very keen to have this discussion, and they are very interested in anticipation of what will be the outcome of this very lovely hot potato type of a discussion.
I come from this school that says every woman must be comfortable to be a woman. So we need more women leaders. Honestly, that's for me.
Then you reach a moment where you discover that spirituality is more important than Christianity.
So if I can tell you that your forefather who is dead is a demon, that's dogma. The house is beautiful, stunning place. And I think when you look at the greater ANC and the greater development of the liberation struggle for the African people, you cannot talk about South African uprising without mentioning Soweto. And for him to have lived in such a boiling pot of conflict, and in the midst of all this, to have been able to create a business model when others came out with nothing, he actually walks out of this conflict as a millionaire, one of the first black millionaires in the country. I think for what it is worth, it's a salute, it's a salute.
Beautiful trees grow in the midst of very bad manure. And in the midst of our traversing problems, we have become a better people.
We come to these funerals not to talk to the one who is dead. We come to the funerals to talk to the ones who are still living. We always collect opportunities, lessons, and illustrations, decisions, errors, and success stories. Where they failed, let us succeed.
To speak to the living, therefore, I would not find my heart anywhere, but except in the black book itself, which has kept me awake for the greatest part of my life. Nice to see you, Sis Felicia. I never thought one day I'll be standing and talking to you, you know? When we were still young guys tuning TV, we thought opera had come to town, and our girls grew up knowing that's possible also.
She shares a very intimate history with the family, and apparently Ntate Maponya was very instrumental in her building her career. And for me, these images of black excellence tell us that it is possible. Good examples that are being put for our young people, that hard work pays. Hard work pays. You need to work hard.
When you look into the space of growing and learning. Then you reach a moment where you discover that spirituality is more important than Christianity. And often our programs are soaked in dogma, whereas people are looking for, how am I going to pay school fees on Monday?
If the church cannot put that bridge between people's needs and their operation, I think they will have lost their function altogether. And the church needs to ask political questions, educational questions, health questions, social questions, and say economic questions. And ask yourself as a church, how do we build a bridge for our people?
As a qualified academician on the theological space, allow me to share some thoughts in passing. That we should stop using the Bible only for making dogma.
How does a religious organization manage and harness the minds of a people towards a common understanding? So basically, dogma is a tool for mind control. So if I can tell you that your forefather who is dead is a demon, that's dogma.
I want to share with the family tonight a beautiful passage of scripture found in the book of Psalm 23, which is a beautiful psalm which we all can sing backwards.
In it is a beautiful outline of leadership. It's a beautiful outline of parenting, of fatherhood.
I would not find something better to say on the death of Mapoya, but I want all men to feel encouraged. In as much as I approve and I salute the girl child education, remember when our girls are now on the 16th floor, assertive and everything else, and they want husbands, they are still on the ground floor where they left them.
Children are children. Both boys and girls must be brought up together equally so that they can become equal partners in participating in life.
So allow me to become a sexist only for tonight. Number one, every man must be a shepherd of his family. Is that okay? But there are two types of shepherds. There are leaders who are always telling us what must be done, except they will never show you how it must be done.
That is a total summary of African politics, where our leaders and church pastors also, they are always chasing us from behind. The question is that if you are driving the sheep from behind, at the end of the day, the sheep have to lead themselves. The one who knows what he's doing and knows where he's going should walk in front and let people voluntarily follow behind them.
Hello, gents. Good afternoon. How are you guys?
Sure.
I hope I'm in the right place. Is this the production team for Abafundisi?
Sure.
My name is Solomon. You did an interview with Bishop Stephen Zondo, and he said quite a lot of things. The interview was just too one-sided. We need to hear the other side of the story. Is Piri here, please?
He left.
He left. Can I see the producer?
The producer is in there.
Over there.
Sure.
Thank you.
I come from this school that says every woman must be comfortable to be a woman. Bring in, and I think we need more women leaders who would not be going to war.
I don't think women would fight at that level. We would have more peace. And we are breaking the family unity by putting too much of the masculine energy into the spaces of work, spaces of church, spaces of economy. Isn't it funny that you give a woman a seed and she gives you a child? Eh? Women have this blessing in them that they can actually expand small resources into plenty. But men, of course, what do we do with our monies? Except showing each other, buying toys, and shooting at each other. So we need more women leaders. Honestly, that's for me. Without taking anything away from African governments, I think maybe I want to see something.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks, and you?
Good. Are you the producer?
Yes, I am.
My name is Solomon, and I'm a journalist. I've been investigating this for quite a bit, but the interview was very one-sided. It only told the side of Zondo, but it needs to give the victims the opportunity for them to also speak out, and I represent them. I want to sit down with you guys for us to really look at what he said and be able to answer what he said.
Okay, Solomon, let me sit down with the team and I'll get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
I like the part where it says now, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
And in this illustration, you learn to have this principle in life. When do you rescue and when do you discipline? And I think for leadership purposes, you need to understand also how do you convert and use the same stick. It just depends where you're holding it. I was touched the other day. A police officer was called when a woman had stolen food. Some of you might have seen it on social media. And the police guy actually went on to the person who had stolen to understand why the person had stolen, to find that this person The children and etc. were suffering and there was no food in the house. And the police officer, out of his own pocket, actually paid for the groceries for that woman. And unfortunately, many of us are just one corridor thinking. But David says, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So now I think many of us need to walk through life before you attend to a situation.
And by the way, I heard someone say these young preachers who are coming up these days, who don't want to go to school. And then they say they are pastors in the morning. He says, yeah, this passage says, thou hast put a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You think God can starve everybody else just to make a show off? When he gives you a table in the presence of your enemies, he's saying, put chairs for them also.
Yes. Yes.
Now that you have in a moment of responsibility, why do you want to treat yourself as if you are not steering?
In the community, please invite those that have not been good to you and share a meal with them.
Then the black book says, you anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Follow the preacher very well. It means that when the head is able to preserve the functions of the hands, then you begin to become productive.
When a country is beautiful, adorned with diamonds, with platinum, but the software, the governance, the thinking of that country is not correct, the resources that hang between our legs will always suffer.
And I think Obama Ponya's hand was overflowing. He was not only a father to you, he was a father to many of us out there. To some by money, to some by example, to some by motivation. But truly his cup went overflowing. In my last time when I preached, I said, don't tell me I'm married to my better half. It makes you look like abnormal. One full cup coming together with another full cup. If we start pouring in each other, it can only be an overflow.
Keep what is in your cup that belongs to you, but the overflow belongs to those that are following behind you.
Goodness. Yeah. Many of you say, follow me. English is a bit weak. If you go back to the Hebrew word, the word used there will say, will pursue me. Guess who is looking for me? Goodness and mercy. Looking for moi.
Oh, it has been a wonderful moment to be here, and I hope I lifted someone's heart and they will have something to take home with them.
Thank you for seeing me, guys. So this is it, right?
I heard one guy, I won't talk about his name because he speaks like sometimes he's on drugs. Not insulting me.
Okay, I'm called out here, guys. Okay. If I don't come back, call 10-111.
So how do you marry the scriptural rebuke and warning of the last days vis-a-vis the claim that you are Jesus, that you are giving us on the right?
When I became a pastor, I was told that Jesus was my sacrifice. I said, what BS is that?